For the Aboriginal people of the North, our ancestors, everything they needed came from the land. Of course, they loved it. But the land did not always love them. From the blistering cold, the treacherous landscapes, the vast space, the Inuit and Dene people needed something to help them stay on their game. So Arctic sports and Dene games were developed to help them survive in these harsh conditions while traveling from camp to camp, following their food sources, whether it be on land or on water. All Arctic sports and Dene games were played with a purpose, whether it to gain hunting skills, to increase endurance for travel, to develop resistance to pain in order to deal with the cold, to build strength in order to help around the camp. Traditional games were also important as they strengthened families and communities. It did not matter where you came from. These games represented friendly competition. It did not matter how high you kicked or how strong you were. These games were developed to keep everyone physically active to survive on the land. Arctic sports are played by the people living in the northernmost regions of Canada, Alaska, and Greenland, one of which being the Inuit. Some of the most popular and recognizable sports are the kicks, such as the 1-foot high kick shown here. The record of the 1-foot high kick is 9 feet and 6 inches. There are 9 different types of variations of the kicks, but the fundamentals are the same. The person attempts to kick a ball or a toy seal dangling from a string at a certain height. If they're able to kick it at that height, the target gets moved up. The kicks test a person's power and body control, which were important when traveling on difficult terrain. For example, traveling along the ice as it's warming could mean jumping from ice floe to ice floe. Practicing these kicks gave the person the strength needed to jump and the body control to balance while landing. The wrist hang is a game in which an athlete must hold their body weight by hanging onto a pole as 2 other people walk them along. This tests a person's muscular strength endurance. It was not only important for the Inuit to be strong, but to be able to hold that strength for an extended period of time. Arm pull has the same muscular requirements as wrist hang. It is a battle between 2 people using only their arm strength. The goal is to pull your opponent towards you. These games were developed to improve a person's ability to trek long distances while packing or pulling a lot of weight. Games of pain resistance, such as the knuckle hop, in which a person must hop along with their body holding their hands as fists. This prepares the person for the pain they will encounter on the land, often due to cold. The knuckle hop is also important as it teaches the person to mimic a seal's movement on land. The ear pull is a face-off between 2 people attached together by the ear. They must pull back until one admits defeat due to the pain. This mimics the pain felt by frostbite. It was important for Inuit people to withstand pain as their lives depended on being able to work through it and complete their travels or their hunt. The Dene are the Aboriginal people of the boreal forests of Alaska, Yukon, and the NWT. One of the well-known Dene games is the stick pull, in which 2 people stand next to each other and try to pull a grease stick out of the other's hands. In the past, it was bear grease that was used. Now we use lard. A great deal of strength is needed to pull that grease stick out of someone's hand. Hand strength, forearm, core, shoulder strength. This game prepared a person for checking fish nets and pulling out slippery fish without losing them into the water. Finger pull also works similar muscles. One person must try to hold their arm in a position while the other person tries to pull their arm towards them. This game helped work the muscles needed to travel long distances while carrying a heavy fish by the gills. The heavier the fish, the better. It meant a bigger supper. Strength and endurance. Is it frozen? Okay. Strength endurance was just as important for the Dene people as it was for the Inuit. While traveling, you'd often encounter many portages along the way. Pole push was a way to maintain portaging strength over the winter. This game is the opposite of tug-of-war, but it's much harder as it's done with a heavy tree trunk. One team must try to push the other past a certain line while carrying or lifting that heavy weight. It's extremely tiring. The combination of strength, speed, and accuracy are very important hunting skills. It's the difference between life and death. A good hunter could feed and clothe his family year-round. Snow snake was a good test of these skills. A person is meant to throw a spear-like stick close to the ground. The player whose spear glided the farthest wins. This was an important technique to learn in the past, before there were guns, as it was used to spear the caribou on the ice as they were laying down or sleeping. One of the most important aspects of the Arctic Sports and Dene Games is community building. It's one that is as equally important today as it was in the past. These games develop camaraderie, encouragement, teamwork. It was impossible to survive in the North without others. In a community or a family, everyone had a role and worked together. Arctic Sports and Dene Games help foster strong relationships in a positive and healthy way. It's the only competition I've seen in which two opponents will cheer for each other and give each other high fives. I encourage everyone to come out to the Traditional Games Championship this February 24th to 26th. It's an incredible atmosphere to be a part of. Thank you.